All right. Good looking crew today. Thanks to everybody for taking time to be at the scholarship reception. My name is Will Sears. I'm the Executive Director of Development in the College of Business. It's good to see everybody. On a day like today, I know you would prefer to be on the Parkway, and so would I. But appreciate you taking time out to celebrate your success and also the support of many private donors that help make your financial burden a little easier here at Appalachian State. So thanks so much for joining us. A couple things, just some housekeeping thoughts here. So we are being recorded, and if you're not speaking, you're on mute. So speakers, if before you're introduced, obviously unmute and be ready to speak. A couple things at the end, you'll be encouraged to kind of jump off early, but please don't do that. Every year we get a creative picture, and obviously this is going to be a more creative picture than others. But at the end of the program, we're going to take about 15 seconds, and everybody, turn their video on, and we're going to take a picture of 140 students on Zoom, which will be really cool, and we'll use that. So please don't leave early, and then we have a 1-minute video to wrap things up. So it's good to see all the faces today. Appreciate you being here. Without further ado, I'm going to turn the floor over to Acting Dean Sandy Vinoy. Sandy?
Thank you, Will. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being with us today for this special virtual event. We are so incredibly proud of our scholarship students for all of their achievements in their academic career. And it's the donors like you who help to make our students' dreams come true. I cannot thank you enough for your generosity in giving to such a worthy cause. At this time, I'd like to recognize Dr. Randy Edwards, who will be introducing our guest speaker for today's event. A graduate of Appalachian, Dr. Edwards served as chair of the accounting department for 13 years and was dean of the Walker College for 9 years before moving into the role of vice chancellor and chief of staff. He was later named Vice Chancellor for University Advancement at Appalachian, and through it all, Dr. Edwards has displayed a true passion for helping Appalachian students. Dr. Edwards.
Thank you, Dean Vinoy. I appreciate those kind words. It's truly an honor for me to introduce Richard Sparks as the guest speaker today. Richard represents the best of Appalachian and the best of the Walker College. He graduated from Appalachian in 1976 with a degree in healthcare management, which was in business at the time. He earned the MBA in 1978. Richard was actually one of the first students in both of those newly created business degree programs. He served for many years as president and CEO of Appalachian Regional Healthcare System in Boone and retired in 2017. As president and CEO of the healthcare system, Richard led the remarkable growth and transition from Watauga Hospital, small Watauga Hospital, to a regional healthcare system with multiple hospitals, a wellness center, and first-class facilities. Richard, especially for Appalachian, coordinated partnerships between Appalachian State University and Appalachian Regional Healthcare System. And a special one that was very significant was the donation of the land where the new Levine Hall houses the Beaver College of Health Sciences. And Richard made that happen. So that is an incredible facility just across the street, Levine Hall with the Beaver College, across the street from the Watauga Hospital. Richard's a longtime member of the Walker College of Business Advisory Council. He was commencement speaker in 2011. In recognition of Richard's outstanding career and service to Appalachian, he received both the Appalachian Distinguished Alumnus Award and the Outstanding Service Award. And in 2016, Richard was awarded Appalachian State University's highest honor by being awarded an honorary doctorate. He's also a very generous supporter of scholarships, and it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Richard Sparks as our speaker.
Well, thank you so much, Randy. That gave me a bit of a scare when Dean Vinoy said that you'd be introducing me, because I know that you know some stories, and I appreciate you not telling those stories during the introduction. Well, thank you, and thanks to all of you for allowing me to spend just a few moments sharing some of my thoughts about the college and scholarships. As you know, this week we're celebrating homecoming, and it's a little bit different. It's not like any homecoming I can remember in the last 50 years, but it's still good. We won the ball game last night, so it's a good start. But homecoming is it's a time of reflection. It's a time when we think back to the time, usually our college experience. And some of those experiences were wonderful and good, and some not so good. But as the years move on, they always bring a smile to your face. You think back. So as Dr. Edwards has indicated, my connections to the Walker College of Business run long and deep. I was a student. I started not long after the college was established in 1970. And I did receive 2 degrees from the Walker College of Business. And even today, I still clearly remember Professor Lloyd Hewlett, who taught a class on career planning, which I took because I was like so many students in my sophomore year, really had no clue as to what path I was going to take. I knew I had a real interest in service, interest in healthcare, but was somewhat lost. I just did not know what direction to go. He spent several hours with me and said, go up to the 3rd floor, Smith Wright Hall, on the right-hand side as you get off the stairs, and look up a person by the name of Oscar Ayler. He heads up our new program, Healthcare Management. So I go and speak with Professor Ayler, who took a whole afternoon. And at the end of that conversation said, well, take one course and see how it turns out, see how you feel about that. Obviously, the result was I spent the next 40 years learning and practicing healthcare administration. I distinctly remember former Dean Paul Combs, who served on my oral comprehensive MBA exam. And he asked me the same question 3 times, exactly the same way. And I was puzzled. So fortunately, I passed. And at the conclusion, as I was shaking the hands of the committee, I had to ask him, why did you ask me the same question 3 times? And he laughed and said, well, I just wanted to see if you would answer it the same way 3 times. Dr. Combs and Dr. Ayler have both remained lifelong friends. In fact, Oscar Ayler and I speak about once every 2 or 3 months. Those are the connections that I made when I was in college with the faculty. And so now, after retiring from a very rewarding 40-year career, I began to teach. I was offered the opportunity by former dean and current provost, Dr. Heather Norris. She actually was keeping a promise that Dr. Edwards had made to me that he would let me teach 1 semester and see how it went. So now I'm in the 4th year of teaching and thoroughly enjoy it. So I say all that to let you know that I have a unique perspective to understanding the value of student scholarship and what it means for all of us. First of all, I personally, obviously, support the college because it helped me develop a knowledge base and a skill set for a career, which I did enjoy. It also helped me develop my thought process, began to establish my values and ethics. Basically, the college made me who I am today. I want that same opportunity for the students of today. When I speak of this, it reminds me of a song from 1988, so no one will remember it except for Dr. Edwards. But it was a song that was written actually for the Summer Olympics, which was held in Seoul, Korea. It was called One Moment in Time. It was sung by Whitney Houston at the time, although it's been redone several times. But it goes, some of the lyrics go like this. Give me one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be, when all of my dreams are but a heartbeat away. To me, that describes what it's like being a student in the Walker College of Business. Scholarships help provide that one moment in time that you'll always remember. And you'll come out with an experience that will create boundless results. We need more dreamers. We need more leaders. We need people who have their feet on the ground promoting ethical behavior and yet are reaching for the stars. We live in a time of uncertainty, fast-paced change, with tremendous volume of information to appropriately process. There are forces that we can see and some which we cannot that are influencing our society. We need leaders who are creative thinkers to help guide us and light the road for us to travel to a better tomorrow. A few years ago, we, the college and the university, adopted a moniker which I think is the best one that we've come up with in all my time associated with the school. And it's called Tomorrow's Leaders Are at Appalachian Today. I firmly believe that, and I believe it more today than ever. Our history shows that we graduate students who are hardworking, who've adopted a moral compass for guidance, and they know how to find the answers to the questions and the problems that we face. Congratulations to all of you who are scholarship recipients, and thank you to all the donors. You are making a wise investment into the future of all of our lives. You are creating a moment in time. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Dr. Sparks, thank you very much. Richard, I appreciate that. I tell you what, it's just been an honor to get to know you over the last 7 or 8 years and just to see what you've done, not only for our community, but for this great university and the College of Business is impressive to watch and see and to be a small part of. So I appreciate you sharing that with us and the students. Thank you.
My pleasure.
At this moment, I'll turn the floor over to Dr. Dave McAvoy, who is Associate Dean of Undergraduate Programs and Interim Chair of the Department of Economics. Dr.
Thank
McAvoy.
you. Thank you. Well, can everyone hear me? Yeah? All right. Welcome, everyone. We appreciate you attending today and everything you do to support our students in the college. As Will mentioned, one of my roles, I'm Associate Dean for Undergraduate Programs in the College of Business. And our scholarship program is housed in the Associate Dean's office. But I did want to take a moment to say that the student-centered work, the real work, matching deserving students with scholarships, is done by the wonderful Kathy Mann, who's here today and instrumental in this event. So I wanted to mention Kathy. She directs our undergraduate scholarship program in the college. With that, I have the best job today, lucky enough to have the pleasure of introducing the stars of the show, our 2 student speakers. So my plan is to first is to introduce our first speaker. We'll give him the floor, and then afterwards I'll hop back on the Zoom mic and introduce our second speaker. So here goes. I'll be brief. Our first student speaker and scholarship recipient is Wendell Addy. Wendell is a computer information systems CIS major and received the CIS Advisory Board Scholarship and the Jackson Paul Vogel Memorial Endowed Scholarship. Wendell was chosen as one of the 2 top honor students in CIS in 2020 of all CIS majors. He's a member of multiple honors societies, including Beta Gamma Sigma, Beta Phi Theta Kappa, and others. It's definitely an understatement to say that Wendell's a good student. So listen to this, not counting this semester, Wendell has earned 113 semester hours. It's about 38 3-credit classes. Not all here at App, but the upper level classes for sure. And his cumulative GPA is 4.0. He's perfect. So needless to say, Wendell's a very smart student, and he's not taking, intermediate jogging 303. He's taking some of the hardest, most technical classes in the college and just making it look easy. I'm not kidding. He could be running this place. So with that, if you will join me in welcoming Wendell Addy to take the Zoom mic and say a few words. Wendell?
Thank you, Dr. McAvoy. Very humble by your very kind words. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wendell Addy, and I'm a senior computer information system major here at Appalachian State, and will be graduating this December. Firstly, I want to extend my thanks and appreciation to every donor associated with the Appalachian community. These donations have not only contributed to the financial side of things for students like me, but it has also influenced me personally to take on a similar role someday. I also want to thank every staff and faculty member at Appalachian State, the Walker College of Business, and the Association of Information Technology Professionals for their phenomenal support throughout my time here. Also, special thanks to Amy Odom for recommending me to share my story and for her continued support since our first meeting in the Career Services Center. My journey so far has been unconventional, but yet it has offered me significant life experiences that have shaped me and developed me today. I grew up with my grandparents, and from a very young age, I was always told that this world is yours, and in order to take advantage of all the offerings, you have to attain an education at the highest level, if possible. One thing they didn't mention was to attain such a level of education, you need the financial freedom to make it happen in most cases. In my case, that financial freedom was not available. And as such, I needed to figure out how to achieve that level of education without having it. This is where it all started for me. And I said to myself that I am going to have financial freedom the only way I know how to. And that was through keeping my head in the books, as my grandparents would say. Upon graduating from high school, I attended my local community college because I still didn't know what exactly that high level education I wanted looked like. And also I had to consider the cost of attendance. So in my head, I figured that this was the best option until I can have a clear picture of what I wanted to do with my life. Fast forward to 2 years later, I still didn't know or have a clue as to what I wanted to pursue in terms of higher education. Nevertheless, I obtained my associate's degree, and right before that, I began researching possible career options and paths to take. This led me to a Google search, which eventually turned out to be Appalachian State's University website. And this is where my story of higher education began. I applied for admissions at Appalachian State, and upon being accepted into the university, I was awarded a huge amount of merit-based scholarships, which significantly reduced my expected family contributions. I went from thinking about the possibilities of getting personal loans to having 75% of my academic expenses covered. This enabled me to focus on my coursework, professional development, jobs, internship searches, and enjoying the college experience. On that note, I was able to maintain a 4.0 GPA for the 2019-2020 school year, took a place on the chancellor's list, got inducted in the Beta Gamma segment, awarded the joint best CIS student for that year, and had multiple offers for a summer internship. I had a successful internship this past summer and was offered a full-time position with the company upon graduation this December. After my internship, I had one more semester before graduating, and again, I decided to apply for scholarships to aid with that. I was awarded merit-based scholarships that paid for my remaining academic expenses, and this brought me within touching distance of attaining the first part of higher education my grandparents always talked about. Despite already having an offer after graduation, not having to worry about getting funds for my final semester offered me more time to broaden my options for full-time employment throughout the summer. On that note, I secured another offer with Citrix Systems, accepted it, and will be starting February as a technical analyst in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Looking back to my first Google search, which led me to Appalachian State's website, I never thought things would have turned out this perfectly, but I knew I had the chance to make something special happen. The support from every donor associated with the university has been instrumental in making my dreams come true. And without such support, I'm very sure things would have taken a different turn. I'm very grateful for the financial support that these scholarships have provided me throughout my time at Appalachian State, and will remain thankful to every donor who made this possible. Again, I want to offer my sincere gratitude to every staff and faculty member at the university for maintaining a good network with our generous donors and using that to make a difference in the lives of students like me. Thank you, stay safe, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Wendell. Very impressive. We're proud to have you as a graduate of the College of Business. Our next speaker and scholarship recipient is Zoe Huffines. Zoe is a management major and sustainable business minor, and she's the recipient of the Lewis Scholarship. Zoe has been a student worker in the dean's office, and I've also had the pleasure of having her in my online business statistics course, which is everybody's favorite course, even if they don't say it, or even if they say the opposite, they love it. Anyway, Zoe's story, which she will share, is definitely a reminder of how important scholarships are. They change students' lives, they make all the difference. There definitely isn't a guaranteed path to success in college, and it's always going to be hard. And it's okay that it's hard, but the funding that you provide as donors can make it just a little easier. And with that, if you will join me in welcoming Zoe to take the mic. Zoe?
Yes, hello, greetings. First, thank you, Wendell, for sharing. I'm so honored to be here speaking with everyone today. As Dr. McAvoy said, my name is Zoe Huffines, and I am the fortunate recipient of the Lewis Family Scholarship. And I want to take the time to first thank our donors and organizers for their endless support of scholars. And then I would like to address the students in attendance, and especially our new scholarship recipients. If you would, please take a moment and celebrate your most authentic self. Recognize that every success, every failure, and every struggle has led you to where you are today. The greatest lesson that I have learned in university is finding resiliency in the face of adversity and embracing all of the changes and challenges that come with doing so. The year of 2020 has taught us anything. It is that nothing in life is promised. In 2012, both my mother and father drove me to Boone for the first time for the Duke Tip program that App State hosts in the summer. And my parents had not been together in years, but it was one of the few times that they had come together to do something for me. And I fell in love with the mountains that remind us of how small we actually are. And before I came to App, I was very naive and self-assured by my own resume. I was a diligent part-time worker and a leader within my community for years, but life has a funny way of keeping us humble. After years of foreclosures and evictions due to my family's medical expenses, I became an emancipated minor and was taken in by my teacher and her family during the junior year of my high school. After my emancipation, my mother passed of cirrhosis at the age of 46 in August of 2016. We had filled out college applications in the days prior. Later that year, I returned to App State with my AP Art History teacher for my scholarship interview. Both Jana, my teacher, and James, her husband, had gone to App State. As a teenager, I think most of us feel pretty lost, and Boone was one of the very few destinations that just felt right, and I think we call that home. Our returning Mountaineers know that this community does not end after graduation. Despite all of the circumstances today, we have still gathered to acknowledge student successes and scholarship, but especially resiliency. While attending App in March of 2019, my father fell victim to a home invasion and was killed in a double murder-suicide at the age of 51. I have never felt more alone or more powerless. Decade-long friends were nowhere to be found, but my bosses and my mentors and my professors, and I will also say my colleagues and fellow students were. My teacher, Mrs. Huffines, filed for adoption, and I gained a mom and a dad and a little brother all last fall. Scholarships are one of the greatest promises that you can give to our future. The value of an education is not in the fleeting success of an A or a degree, but it is in the experiences that shape us into who we are. I'll be graduating in May as a business management major with minors in sustainable business and experiential integrative learning. This would not have been possible without my donor, Mr. Lewis, and his wife, Donna's support. I'll cherish every inspiring lunch conversation with Mr. Lewis that he has blessed me with over the years. And I also have to take a moment and thank Michelle Boyclair, Amy Odom, and everyone that I have crossed paths with in business career services, advising, and the dean's office. To the students who might not know what I am talking about right now, please reach out and reach out now, because they turn coal into diamonds, and scholarships have allowed me to do amazing things here at App. I have worked on campus and business career services. I've served as an on-campus mentor. As a teaching assistant, I led a freshman retreat. I attended academic conferences, and this year will be my 4th year with the Women of Walker organization and my very first year as a Walker Fellows Director. These invaluable experiences, though, are not unique to me. They are at all of your fingertips because of the generosity standing before you today. So again, take a moment and reflect on those accomplishments and be proud of yourself, and then choose the next mountain to climb.
Zoe, wow.
Oh no, Will Sears
I know-
speechless.
I
That
know,
never
I know,
happened.
hey, I know it's my turn. It's my turn. I get that, Zoe. Hey, so while I gather myself, thank you, Zoe. If everybody would turn their video on, we're going to take a creative picture for 30 seconds. So turn your video on, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Haley. And if Haley would take the picture, that way we're going to it'll take, Haley, tell us when you're done. So tell us when to
Okay.
smile.
Okay,
Wipe
thanks,
the tears
Will.
away.
Thanks, Will. Zoe, that was amazing. Wendell, that was amazing. Dr. Sparks, thank y'all so much. I'm going to do 7, 3, 2, 1. So if you've got your camera on, I'll go through the pages of the Zoom room. So 3, 2, 1. Keep the smiles. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Last but not least, 3, 2, 1. Thanks, Will.
Okay, give us another 1 minute. I'm going to turn the floor over to Kim to play a 1-minute video.
Thank you so much for the support, and I'm so excited to, be at Appen this fall.
Words really just can't describe how much I appreciate your help.
And deeply appreciative of your support.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you for this opportunity.
I'm very thankful that people like yourself are able to help students who are currently working towards a degree.
Thank you so much for your support and donorship.
I'd like to thank y'all for giving me this opportunity to have this scholarship.
Thank you to the donors of the Walker College of Business.
My family and I are so very grateful for this scholarship and your generosity.
Thank you so much for your investment in me, my education, and my future.
Say thank you very much for allowing me to continue to follow my dreams.
Your generosity has inspired me to help others and give back. I hope one day I will be able to help students achieve their goals just as you have helped me. Again, thank you so much.
Oh, hey. So I'll close this, folks. First of all, we did record this. So if you know someone that you want to forward this to, we'll be sending this out. If you have a friend that wants to support the college, if you have a student that you want to hear these messages, or if you have a family member you want to share this with, we will be getting this prepared for that. I just want to say thank you to Richard Sparks. Thank you, Wendell. Thank you, Zoe. Zoe, we've known each other for a long time. And I'll just say that, we don't have Dr. Sparks' story. We don't have Wendell's story. We don't have Zoe's story. Like Zoe said, everybody on this call has their own individual story. And that's your story. And lean into that story and embrace that story and be who you are. So anyway, I just think that's something to think about as we go through life. I want to congratulate all the students for your hard work. There's over 3,100 students in the College of Business. We only give out about 275 scholarships. So you're definitely the cream of the crop. It's the top 10%. So congratulations to you. All of our friends that support us financially that are on the call. I want to personally thank you for taking my appointments and listening when we share stories with you and writing those checks. Those checks matter. They change lives, as you've seen here today, and I get to live that every day. So just want to thank everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy this wonderful fall day. And this will conclude our program. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great weekend.